Life is unpredictable, an inarguable fact proven time and time again by both the good and the bad. My name is Olivia Deming, and I like to have control over my life. I make to-do lists and itineraries and plans, and you know what? Life doesn't care what I've planned, no matter how meticulously. One constant of mine throughout all the ups and downs of life is that I need to be reassured, checked up on, feel understood. When these needs of mine are fulfilled, it makes the hard days easier. It's my safety net. You may have heard of something called Maslow's hierarchy. It begins with basic needs, like a roof over your head, but it progresses to love, esteem, and self-actualization. A key factor of understanding your higher needs is knowing what brings you joy, as well as the plethora of emotions within human capability. Practicing simple mindfulness is an excellent way to learn more about yourself and your higher needs. Begin just being aware of your emotions, whether it's excitement, pride, or the traditionally more uncomfortable ones like betrayal and shame. Emotions are powerful, and they can seem like this black hole that you're never going to find your way out of. Communication, however, holds unparalleled power. And maybe it's not talking out loud. Maybe it's journaling, or meditating, or writing a letter and ripping it up. Because communication is not always verbal, but it is always necessary. And sometimes we can't help but feel a certain way. It's not normal or even healthy to be happy all of the time. What matters is how we work through and unpack those emotions by communicating our thoughts and our needs. For instance, last year, I tore my ACL doing gymnastics and I had to have surgery. I worked tirelessly for a year and eventually I did it. I came back the next season competing again. A week after the 1-year anniversary of tearing my ACL, I tore my other ACL. I was devastated. The weeks following the injury were bleak. I was crying at stoplights, shutting out my friends, this whole gamut of self-pity. But then I was mad at myself for it. Why couldn't I move on when things could be so much worse in the long run? I mean, I'd been through worse. Shockingly, stuffing my emotions down and pretending like I was fine didn't fix anything. I only started to feel better when I allowed myself to feel worse first. I had to give myself permission to be utterly devastated and to talk about it, because yes, there are worse things in the world. There's always someone suffering more, and it's important to recognize and empathize with suffering. It makes us human. It does not, however, diminish others' suffering. Pain is valid, and talking about your feelings is stigmatized, especially for boys. So I implore you all to notice if you feel uncomfortable. Step outside of your comfort zone and talk about it anyway, because that is where growth happens. My challenge to all of you is to start small. Communicate to 3 important people in your life, 3 things you need from them to thrive, and ask them to do the same. This allows us to love and be loved in the unique way that we all deserve. I've also found it to be one of the magical things that manufactures happiness. Additionally, find an outlet for your emotions, even if it's screaming them out into the pouring rain with only the trees to listen. Humans crave understanding, so it's about time that we take action to be understood by others and by yourself. A lot of us want to change the world, myself included, but to be stimulating change with the necessary velocity, you have to take care of yourself first. It will all begin in your own mind and with your own words. Then I am positive that we are unstoppable. Thank you.